Hi everyone, I've just come to share this little junk journal with you. It's a little 6x4 and I was actually inspired to make this after I seen a journal by Laura Susan Zedlitz, and it was the blue paper that she'd used in her journal, and I thought I've got paper quite similar to that colour that I've never used, so I thought, right, I'm going to make a journal. It's funny what actually prompts you to make a journal. Now this is absolutely nothing like the journal that Susan had made, but it was just the blue paper that she'd used had prompted me to actually use this blue paper that I have. So like I said, it's a little 6x4, I think it's a 1.5 inch spine. I've used these large eyelets which was gifted to me by Teresa Rogers, so thank you so much. I got them last week and I was itching to use them. So as you see, I've done the kind of easy twine binding, that's what it's called, couldn't think of it then. Brain dead now, I've been sat in here all day just making journals. I'm onto another one as well, but I thought I'd do a video of this one first. These two pieces on here are from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and they were just some extras that I had from printing off from another project. So I always print off more than what I need. I've got some flat back pearls and some lace trim, and there's nothing on the back. This is just like tea dyed or coffee dyed paper, and I've inked around there. I'll probably put like a half doily on it or something, because what I do is when I've cut my chipboard or recycled cereal boxes, I kind of cover them with cardstock, then I go over it with either designer paper or some tea dyed paper just to give, you know, some look to it. So that's that, and it's kind of turned out a chunky little journal. So I will do a flip and I will show you what I've done. Here we've got just a little envelope. I can put stuff inside there. This is just a scrap piece of paper that I've used because I didn't have any washi that was coordinating with all these colours, so I just used the scraps and glued that on, and it kind of looks like washi. So I've got a little doily here and some of this blue paper, which I absolutely love. I looked at it before and I was like, oh, I'm never going to use that, and then when you see somebody else using something, you think, oh, right, it does go really well. So these pieces here are from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, from the Love is Chic. This is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden as well, and I believe that was a freebie. Some of the scraps, and I just folded that over, something to journal on. These I found via Pinterest, and it's quite funny because that's the year I was born, 1972. Got some of this paper which I've just folded up and slotted in there, somewhere to journal. Some book page, oh, that's just curled over, that says Unforgettable. Notes, this is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I've just made this little tag. This was some of the embossing I was trying out on some vellum, so you can put stuff inside there. I've got a lot of these made up for my pocket letters. That's just a index card. This was something I found via Pinterest as well. It's just like little coffee cups, and they've got, I think it's the days of the week, which I've covered this over because this actually said 2013 on there, so I just covered that over with the little mustache, but it's a tuck spot. Some of the jelly bean soup pocket dies. I've put a tag on each of them, but I've left it open so you've got a space for tucking in here and here. Doily, this is just some greaseproof paper. This was a printable, just some coffee dyed paper which I've inked up. Put that in there. This was a scrap that was in my box. Here, let me find something. There we go. Good old piece of scrap. That's a tuck spot as well. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Somewhere to journal. This is a die cut by Sizzix, and it's one of the ornate frames, or the decorative ornate frames, and I've left that open so that I can actually tuck something right in behind there, because I've only glued just around these tiny bits on the edge. The flap of an envelope with just a little piece of scrap glued on. I actually done a journal and used one of these excuse me, as a cover. So I think I'd printed off quite a few, but done them all the wrong size. So these smaller ones, I've just created a tuck spot. This is the middle. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. We've got a tuck spot here and here with a tag from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and that's another piece of this, and I've just glued that on there because I created a pocket. Just some scraps which I've inked up, some paper clips, somewhere to write. This has been floating around. It was a pocket I made for something, probably about a year or so ago. Never used it, so I thought I'd add it because the colours were appropriate. This is an Ephemera's Vintage Garden tag. Just some coffee dyed paper which I've tucked in there. Some more of that greaseproof paper. Can't say that too quick. Another bit of that blue paper. Film strip, which was a printable. Some book page. More to write on. This was something I found via Pinterest as well, which was a free download. Another one of these jelly bean soup pockets, and it's open there too. This was the little bags that Crafty Irina had sent me, and that's them there. So I've just used that and created some tuck spots. This was a piece of vellum that was just in my scrapbooks. Piece of paper, just inked up. Tuck spot here. This was something I'd purchased on Etsy. Just a little piece that I glued on. Mason jar. Love this blue paper. Since it was blue, I had to add this. This is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and I've done that so that it flips opened. Just a little piece that I've glued onto the flap of the envelope. Scrap piece. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden as well. A little tuck spot. This is the envelope, and you can pop stuff inside there. Little postcard with a tag. Doily. Another little postcard. Just some little tickets. Irene has sent me tons, in fact thousands of tickets, so I'm going to start using them, so they're going to go in all my journals. And I do plan on actually using some and stamping on the middles, but I just glued these two pieces together. This is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Little tuck spot, journaling spot, book page. That's the other side of this paper bag, and it's got, this is all embossed in gold, and it's lovely. This is a freebie from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. So I've glued that down completely because I accidentally printed that out on copy paper. So you know, it never goes to waste, not with me anyway. This music sheet here was actually from Teresa Rogers, and it's a old Danish hymn book. So I was really happy. Actually, I'll show you them. It's right here. So she sent me a few pages of this. So I just cut it in half and then folded it in half. So I've still got quite a bit of that left. Another one of these paper bags from Irene. Journaling spot. Whoops. Doesn't want to work. Book page. Some more blue paper. little tuck spot there, and that's from the Feminist Vintage Garden. Found this via Pinterest, so I've just made a little tuck. Some more of the greaseproof paper, just a little doily which creates a tuck. Little journaling spot there. Side tuck here. Some of that paper, and I've just, all the little scraps of, you know, coffee dyed paper, don't throw it out, use it, fold it up, pop it in somewhere. Some of the hem book page, and another mason jar with some coffee dyed paper. Little tuck spot. I've just paper clipped that on so that can actually come off. Probably do some stamping on this. I did actually plan to do more on this, and then I started another journal. You know what it's like. This is a tag which I've created a tuck spot, and so is this. Another one of those paper bags, and I've just popped on another envelope there which you can put stuff in there. So that's my little journal. It actually weighs quite a bit for a little journal. So if you have any questions, just ask, and hope you're all having a good day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.